stop letting the fear of being alone or being perceived or whatever keep you from experiencing live music or just experiencing life. I was an extremely anxious child growing up. I hated change. I hated new things. I especially hated doing things alone. Like if my mom, my sibling, my friends weren't going to be there, I did not want to go. I did not want to be there. And I remember crying on the second day of middle school, not the first, but the second, because I was so overwhelmed with all of the change on the first day, and I was like, oh my God, I have to do this. I have to do this every day now. And I continued to be anxious and feared doing things alone until I got to college. Then I pretty much had no choice. Like, I had lunch alone because my friends and I's schedules didn't align. I would study in the library alone. I would explore campus alone. I would grocery shop alone. I would then do literally everything alone. And you know what? It wasn't as terrible as I thought it would be because I built it all up in my head. But it wasn't until COVID when I realized how much the fear of doing things alone hindered me. I had missed out on so many opportunities because I didn't have anyone to go with and I didn't want to go alone. And yes, some of it was because I was too young to go alone, but a big part of it was just being a big old scaredy cat. And so during the lockdown, when none of us knew what would come back, we didn't know if live music would ever happen again. We didn't know if stores would ever open again. We didn't know what life would be like anymore, if it would ever return to normal. And all I could think of was how many opportunities I missed because I didn't want to go alone, and now I didn't know if I'd ever get to experience these things. So I decided that once life returned to normal, and I use that very lightly because COVID has impacted all of us and continues to impact us, and it's still very much a big part of all of our lives. So I guess more so when things began to open up and tours began again, I told myself I was going to go. If I wanted to go, I was going to go, even if I had no one else to go with and I would be alone. And a big thing I wanted to do was go to lots of concerts. I remember missing out on so many concerts in my late teens because, well, the pandemic was smack dab in the middle of that. But because I didn't have anyone to go with, aka my friends didn't know the artist, didn't like the artist, weren't available, just didn't want to go. And so I did not go. Countless shows missed. And this was before concerts cost an arm and a leg to go to like they do now. So today, I'm telling you to go to the concert alone. If literally the only thing holding you back from going to that live show is the fear of being alone, go. Because if I can do it, so can you. And because this is the internet, I have to preface this by saying that I am specifically talking about if the only reason you are deciding not to go to a concert is because you don't want to go alone. Obviously, there are a multitude of other reasons you could not be able to go. Transportation, maybe you are too young to go alone, maybe it's too expensive, whatever it is. I see you, but I'm not talking to you. We love to live in our comfort zones, myself included, okay? So I should actually really be listening and taking notes on my own notes because I need to hear this as well. But staying in our comfort zones means we don't get a chance to grow. We don't get a chance to make mistakes and learn from them. We don't get a chance to spread our wings. Or at the very least, we don't then have cool stories or funny stories or embarrassing stories to tell our friends. And listen, sometimes I will admit I don't want to go to a concert that I got tickets to, okay? I like being at home. I like my bedtime. I like my routine. I like having quiet time. But every time I tell myself, no, we are looking forward to this. This concert's gonna be fun. And every time it is. Of course it is. I love live music. And even if it's not the best show ever, live music is so special. It has shaped our culture and humanity, and you can really feel it in the space. And there was a time 6 years ago where we didn't know if live music would be possible anymore. We didn't know if Broadway would be able to open. We didn't know if tours would be able to happen. We had no clue what would go on. So why would I want to miss out on an opportunity that 6 years ago we didn't even know was possible, and now it very much is again. So whenever I'm feeling anxious about going to a concert alone, or I'm just not motivated to leave the house, I remind myself how lucky I am that we have live music again and that I am able to go to these shows. I have been to concerts alone where I do not talk to a single soul. And I've also been to concerts where I have made lifelong friendships. Literally, my first solo concert, which was also my first concert post lockdown, I made a close friend, and we are still friends to this day. We still keep in touch, we still go to concerts together, and that show was 5 years ago. I had told myself that when my favorite band, Mr. Wives, toured again, I would be there. No matter where it was, I would be there. And so when they announced their tour for fall of 2021, I got my tickets, and then I drove the 3 hours to Dallas all by myself. And I was quite nervous. I mean, part of it was me being so excited and anxious to see my favorite band live for the first time, but also this is my first solo show. This is my first solo little trip. I don't go to Dallas that much. I wasn't that familiar with the area. But once doors opened and we were waiting for the opener to come on, I started chatting with the girl next to me. I think we complimented each other first, which is the best way to start a conversation. Just I love how people express themselves through clothes and their appearance. And so I think we just started complimenting each other and then ended up chatting the entire time because we found out that we were both at our first solo concert. And so we were talking about all the other concerts we'd been to and our favorite Mr. Wives songs. And it was just such a magical time, and such an amazing bond formed. And we don't live that close to each other, but we still text quite a bit. And once a year, we make sure that we go to a concert together. Either she comes here to Houston, I go there to Dallas, but it is an annual tradition for us. I look forward to it every single year. And now that is not every solo concert experience. I go to the vast majority of concerts by myself just because of schedule availability with everyone and artists that I enjoy. And also, concerts are expensive. And so, most of the time at a solo concert, I don't end up talking to anyone because it can be nerve wracking. And sometimes I get too into my head about talking to the people next to me, especially if they're already there with someone and engaging in conversation with them. Or sometimes I try to start a conversation and it just dies out naturally, which happens a lot. But at the same time, I follow so many people on Instagram that I met at a concert because we just started talking, and it turns out most of them were also there at the concert by themselves. And I'm sure that there are more people going to that concert alone than you would think. It is not weird at all to go by yourself. People are not judging you for going to a concert alone. In fact, they probably haven't even noticed. And if they did, I guarantee you they do not care. People go to concerts alone all the time. It's normal, just as normal as going to the movie theater alone. Both of these, very normal experiences, but for some reason, we've decided it's not normal. Oh, it's weird to do these things by yourself. Okay, just say you don't enjoy your own company. Because, I'm sorry, that was mean. Was that mean? You are the only person that you spend the entirety of your life with. So have fun with yourself. Go do these experiences by yourself. Of course, it's great when you can enjoy these experiences with a loved one or a friend or whatever, but you shouldn't have to hold back on that because you're scared of going alone. Spend time with yourself. I promise you're gonna have a good time. Now, going back to losing my mind at that Mr. Wives show, which actually happens every single time I've seen them, which has now been quite a lot. I would not have made those memories and those experiences and built these friendships over the years if I had gotten scared and chickened out and decided not to go because I didn't want to go alone. I had huge reasons for wanting to go, which I feel like is why I pushed myself so much. Like, this was the band that got me through the pandemic. I love their music so much. And so, yeah, I was going to do everything I possibly could to see them live, including facing that fear of doing something by myself. So, if you are thinking of going to a show alone, I recommend picking one that you won't want to back out of, okay? A favorite band or artists that you would do anything to see, or maybe you fought tooth and nail for that one singular ticket in the Ticketmaster queue. We've all been there. And so you can't give it up, because then what was that fight for? Just something that you know that you will regret if you don't go to it, because then it's harder to talk yourself out of it. You deserve to build these fun memories, and concerts are honestly the best place to do it. Now, I will confess, I can't say necessarily that I prefer going to concerts alone. I think it comes down to many factors. And there are times where I've gone to concerts with other people and it's just been an okay time, whether it be the performance itself or the people I was with just weren't really into that music. But then, of course, there's shows that I've been to with friends where we are just all losing our minds. It's a great time, it's a great bonding experience, just everything about it. And then it's so fun getting to talk about that show later with them. But yeah, sometimes people can be a buzzkill, okay? And don't let them kill your vibe. If you like an artist but can't find anyone with the same interest, don't drag someone there, okay? I do not want to be stuck behind your 6'4" boyfriend who's just scrolling on his phone the entire time and does not care to be there. He's killing your vibe. He's killing my vibe. He's killing everyone's vibe. Leave him at home. If doing something alone still scares you, and I'm talking about everything here, okay? We got concerts, going to the movies, going to get lunch by yourself, maybe going to a pottery class by yourself. I don't know, anything where it's the fear of doing it alone that's still holding you back. Hey, that's okay. We all need a little fear in our lives, a little excitement. Otherwise, life would be boring and we would not grow as human beings. Like, we need to have fears, even if they seem so silly. We need to have those fears and barriers so that we can overcome them. And I know it can be hard to talk to new people. That's why at a lot of the shows that I go to, I don't end up talking to anyone. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's gonna kill the vibe of the show. I mean, a lot of the times will just people watch in between sets. And honestly, that's great. I love people watching. It's so fun. And then sometimes you get to hear snippets of gossip from the people around you, from people you don't know, about people you don't know. And that's the best form of gossip. I've definitely provided gossip to people that way. They've definitely overheard me talking about like past work drama or stuff. Actually, I remember when I went to a show with my friend India, who I met at that first Mr. Wives show. It was for Carly Rae Jepsen, and I was telling her all about my work drama at the time. And there was a girl standing next to us, and she just turned around. And she's like, "I'm sorry, I could not help but overhearing what the hell is going on." And I was like, "Let me rope you in. You can do this. You can do things by yourself. You can go and experience live music alone. You can see that artist or band that you love so much, or you like them a little, or maybe you just know that one singular song by them, but you really love that one singular song. You can go and see them by yourself, okay? Don't miss out on the opportunity, or you're gonna regret it." Speaking as someone who so often was like, "I don't have anyone to go with." There's like a list in my head of shows that I have constantly running where I'm like, I could have been there. And then there's another list of concerts I have in my brain where I'm like, I could have been there, but I could not afford it. That list is longer. Yeah. All of this to say, get out of your comfort zone and go enjoy the beauty of live music. You deserve it. I hope this was motivational. But, if it wasn't, follow the wise words of Nike. Just do it.